The most important photograph ever taken shows absolutely nothing special. No explosion. No alien. No miracle of nature. Just a small blue smudge against an infinite black void. And yet every single time humans manage to photograph Earth from deep space, something strange happens, not to the planet, but to the people looking at it. The Artemis II crew 4 astronauts are the first humans to travel beyond low Earth orbit since 1972. Not landing on the moon this time. Just swinging past it. A practice run, essentially. But on flight day 2, they pointed a camera back at home and captured something that NASA immediately described as spectacular. Which, for a NASA press release, is basically a standing ovation. We've had Earth photos from space since 1972, the iconic blue marble, shot by Apollo 17. Then Carl Sagan convinced NASA to turn Voyager 1's camera around in 1990, and we got the pale blue dot, Earth reduced to less than a single pixel. A mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, as Sagan put it. Every version of this image does the same thing. It makes the planet look like it could use a little more margin for error. Astronauts have a name for what happens when you see Earth from that distance, the overview effect. Frank White coined it in 1987 after interviewing astronauts who described a profound cognitive shift, a sudden, visceral understanding that national borders are administrative fiction, that the atmosphere is absurdly thin, basically a coat of varnish on a bowling ball. You don't reason your way to that conclusion. You just see it, and then you can't unsee it. The Artemis II shot isn't just pretty. It's documentation. At 300,000 kilometers from Earth, roughly the lunar distance, the planet subtends about 2 degrees of arc in the sky. That's 4 times the apparent width of a full moon as seen from your backyard. Large enough to make out weather systems swirling across ocean basins. Small enough that you could blot it out with a raised thumb. Both facts are true at the same time, and your brain will fight you on that. What the image shows is Earth doing what Earth does, swirling clouds, blue oceans, that impossible green and brown patchwork of continents. The crew sees this in real time, not on a downlink satellite feed, but through an actual window. The photons left Earth's surface, traveled hundreds of thousands of kilometers through vacuum, and landed on a human retina. That is a very long commute for a photon. There's a reason space agencies keep taking these photos, and it isn't purely PR. Research on the overview effect shows it produces measurable increases in awe, reduced in-group tribalism, and a sharpened sense of planetary fragility. Edgar Mitchell returned from the moon and never saw the world the same way again. He spent the rest of his life as a vocal advocate for environmental protection. The photograph accomplished what no policy document ever managed to. Artemis II is a rehearsal. The landing comes later. But every mission that sends humans past the moon's orbit adds another data point to the oldest argument humanity has with itself: are we a species that stays home, or one that leaves? This image, a spectacular photo of a small blue marble taken by 4 people swinging around the moon, is already its own answer. We left. We looked back. And apparently, we still find it worth the trip. Strip away the awe and here's what actually happened. 4 people swung past the moon, pointed a camera at home, and produced an image that will outlast every press release, every mission brief, and probably every policy argument about why we should keep going. The blue marble, the pale blue. Now this, each one taken from a little farther out, each one making the same point the last one made, and each time it lands like nobody's heard it before. The science is incremental. The mission is a rehearsal. But the photograph does something mission objectives can't. It makes the argument visceral instead of rational, and visceral arguments are the ones that actually change. Behavior. That's not nothing. That might be everything. What strikes us is that we keep needing the reminder. 50 years of Earth from space photography, and each new one still lands like the first. We don't think that means we're slow learners. We think it means the overview effect is fighting something very stubborn in us, something that defaults back to small, to local, to ours, the moment the image leaves the news cycle. Every astronaut who sees Earth from that distance comes back changed. We've known this for decades. So here's the question we can't quite shake: if the view is what transforms people, why have we only ever sent astronauts?